980 WCAP, Lowell, Haverhill, Lawrence, Methuen, Nashua, and Salem, New Hampshire, serving the Merrimack Valley.
So let's start right at the top. John, the name, Screaming Ostrich Film Festival. Where did you get that particular moniker? And I see you're wearing a Screaming Ostrich Film Festival cap.
Yeah, this is
so where did you come up with that one?
Well, we had a different name, and we had to, it was already in use, so we had to change it. And just to...
the Cannes Film Festival was taken, I take it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we had to come up with something real quick, and it was agreed, it was tentative, and it was inspired by Mick Cusimano, who had his Rooster Tales.
Yes.
So I thought, okay, Rooster Tail, we can't do that. Screaming Rooster, no. Screaming Chicken, Screaming Ostrich, and we just put that down. And that's how we got it. And it was basically, we started with Mick.
Yes, well, just a little aside here. Mick Cusimano was a friend to everyone in the Boston cinema community. I had the great privilege of knowing him for many years. I had the great privilege of working with him in some of his productions. He was a very talented man and a wonderful, wonderful human being. We lost him a while back, but I like to think his spirit is continuing in not just the Screaming Ostrich Film Festival, but everyone who worked with him is involved in some kind of project, and so the Mick Cusimano family lives on, and I'm very happy to say that. So, anyway.
Yeah, well, that's it. Actually, it does, particularly in works like yours and Michael O'Toole's, which is why we put you at the festival.
Right.
Because it's a continuation of Mick's work.
By the way, not to interrupt, but Michael is going to join us by phone today, I hope, soon. And he'll be talking about his remarkable work with television and video, which, again, not to blow my own horn here, but I've also been a part of that, and you have as well, and so forth. But anyway, when Michael comes on, we can talk to him about that situation. But continue. Tell us about the itinerary of this year's Screaming Ostrich Film Festival. Tell us about the films. Tell us about when and where they will be seen.
Well, the most interesting will probably be, what I most talked about, will probably be Wednesday night. We got sponsorship from Fenway Health, so we got their, I guess you call it a lecture hall or auditorium. It's a beautiful space. It's up 10 floors. It overlooks Fenway Park. It's free. It's free, so anyone can go. We do have tickets, but they're free. And the most interesting film for the night is going to be like this 60-something-year-old film called Boys Beware. And it's basically anti-gay propaganda, warning people against the threat of the homosexual. And it's National Coming Out Day.
Yes.
So we decided we want to play it as sort of a "You Are Here" sign. So people can say, like, see how far society has come. Because a lot of times, especially the kids, they think the world's horrible. It's like, are you kidding?
No, yes.
Dial the clock back.
Yes.
You got to look sometimes at how far you've come, instead of how far you've got to go. Right.
Well, I can remember. I'm of advanced age. I don't think that's any secret to anyone. But I can remember when it's really funny driving anywhere these days, but driving even here into Lowell and seeing the billboards advertising cannabis places. And I'm thinking to myself, well, 50 years ago, those billboards were telling us about the dangers of marijuana. Now they're advertising it. So, and there used to be signs in ballparks that said no betting, and now the signs say bet with us. Anyway, times have changed. But anyway, continue, please.
Yeah, so Wednesday night we'll close with that, and it opens with a film featuring John Waters.
The legendary Baltimore Baron of Bad Taste.
Yes, and he's got a small part. It's not huge because they couldn't afford him. But I was speaking to the producer, and he told me a funny story that John Waters is a director, as anyone familiar with him knows. So he did like 16 takes, and he gave them all 16 takes, so that they could decide which one they liked, and that's just something a director would do, right?
Wow. Now is John going to be appearing at this event?
I have no idea. I mean, Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. John Waters. We have a couple of really good films for the evening. Being National Coming Out Day, and Fenway Health that provides a lot of services to trans people and AIDS and everything. So it's an entirely LGBT evening hosted by Tori Clay, who is
another member of the Cusimano family.
Yes, we got Hartley. I don't really remember when he was Big Clay. He was Big Clay. Now he's Victoria Clay. So Tori Clay. Mm-hmm. So Tori's a trans woman, and she will be she's hosting this Wednesday, October 11th, and like I said, it's free.
Yes.
And then Thursday we have another free thing going. We have a great session with a bunch of international films and local films, and it's just knockout films. They're just awesome. And we're opening with a pitch session. So if you want to go and critique someone's movie pitch, or if you have something to pitch, come on down. And again, that's going to be free. Again, there's tickets online, but it's free. It doesn't cost any money. And then when the pitch session ends, we're not kicking anyone out. So if you go in for free.
Now, for those who may not be as cinematically inclined as we are, define what a pitch is.
Oh, well, it's like, well, I'll tell you, we did this originally for our screenplay authors, because we do a screenplay competition, but we don't do much for them, because we don't want to violate their copyrights or anything.
Right.
So instead we said, well, they can come in and pitch their ideas. And what you should do is come up with like a synopsis or something, like 1 or 2 sentences. Like the consummate example is Star Trek. They'll say, wagon train in space.
Yes.
And that's the concept.
Yes.
And if someone really likes it, or I mean, you could say something else. You could say Black Lives Matter meets Blue Lives Matter.
Right. Basically, it comes down to you're trying to sell your idea to someone who might be able to pay for it.
Yes.
And whatever's going on in your head, you're trying to put yourself in their head. You're trying to figure out, what does this guy or woman, what would sell my idea to this person or these people? And therefore, it may not be totally what you have in mind as a film, but you're trying to set off the spark in their brain that will say, yes, that's exactly the concept we're looking for. Anyway.
So yes, that's free.
Right. Well, you keep saying the word free, and I like that word free. Like someone once asked, I think it was Groucho Marx, what he thought of free love, and he said, "Well, I think the price is right." Anyway.
Well, we're Filmmakers Festival.
Right.
We filmmakers this year to not only show up, but to bring their casting crews.
Yes.
We want everyone to be there.
Right.
And some festivals charge even the filmmakers.
Right.
They charge a fee to submit, and then they charge you admission to go see
Right.
the film. And where most give you a +1, like Filmmaker +1 ticket. So what we thought is we just invite everybody.
Indeed. Just to make this clear, this is not one of those velvet rope film festivals where, you're walled off from the film makers and the film stars, and there are tons of paparazzi around, and and goons to keep you in line. No, this is a much more audience-friendly situation.
Yeah, we're named for a giant upset bird.
Yes.
It was supposed to say irreverent.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, congratulations to you and your colleagues for doing this. And how many years have you been doing this?
This is our 5th year.
Fifth year.
Actually, I've been discussing with people like Mick Cusimano going back much longer. Mm-hmm. And it was when Mick, I hate to keep bringing up Mick, when he came down with cancer, it was sort of like, oh my God, you can't talk about this stuff, you have to do it. And that's what prompted the creation.
Right.
We got it in 2018, 2018, and it took until 2019 until we opened doors.
Right.
It was organized in 2018, actually started organizing.
Well, never feel reluctant to mention Mr. Cusimano, because he was such a great guy and such a great talent, and inspired so many other people to use and develop their own talents. And I can say that for a personal fact. John, we have to go to a break now, and but stay with us, because later on in the program, John will be once again talking about the Screaming Ostrich Film Festival. And when we come back after the break, we'll have my interview with the legendary Boston rock and roll figure, Lizzie Borden. She of Lizzie Borden and the Axes. Lizzie is going to be inducted tonight into the New England Music Hall of Fame at Regent Theater in Arlington. Normally I'd encourage you to go, but it was sold out a long time ago. I don't know if I'll even be able to get in. And I'll use all my legendary connections to try to get in. But anyway, stay tuned, because we'll have that interview. And then later in the program, we'll be right back here with John McGinnis to talk about the Screaming Ostrich Film Festival. I'm Hartley Pleshaw. This is Active Radio. This is WCAP, where everybody gets it. We'll be right back.
Whether you're craving a cupcake, breakfast sandwich, latte, bubble tea, or scoop of gelato, Little Delights Bakery is the place to go. Little Delights is a cafe and scratch bakery where desserts are baked in small batches using only the freshest ingredients. Open 7 days a week. Order online or stop by the shop at 138 Merrimack Street in downtown Lowell. Helping you with your next party or simply a treat to satisfy your sweet tooth. Little Delights Bakery, your destination for deliciousness.
Hi, this is Joe the Paint Doctor. We service homes throughout the Merrimack Valley, and we invite you to get on our exterior painting schedule. How about carpentry with the painting? Yes, we can take care of that as well. You only need to contact one company, so call 978-226-8908. That's 978-226-8908. Or reach us at paintdoctors.com. Paint Doctors Painting, just what the doctor ordered for your house painting needs.
Angelina's Italian Restaurant at 1866 Main Street in Tewksbury is looking forward to seeing you. Delicious, authentic fare inspired by family recipes originating back in the old country. Fine wines and crafted cocktails, and the always friendly service that Angelina's is known for. Recommended reservations are taken 3 to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, closed Sundays and Mondays. And of course, enjoy Angelina's authentic Italian food to go. Find them on Facebook. Contact information and menus online at angelinastewksbury.com.
Hi, this is Gary Francis, hoping you'll join me this Saturday night and every Saturday night from 7 to 9 for the Saturday Night Sock Hop here on 980 WCAP. We play the greatest hits of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. We'll do requests, we'll do dedications. Join me this Saturday and every Saturday night starting at 7 o'clock for the Saturday Night Sock Hop on 980 WCAP.
Okay, I want everybody to settle down now. We got some new we're going to show you now. So knock his head when we come outside the edge. You get ready? You say, here we go. Yeah. All right, come on. Come on. Come on, let's go. All right. Everybody get down on your face, man. Get ready, yeah.
Everybody say happy birthday, Heather.
powerful rock and roll sound of Lizzie Borden and the Axes, who will be inducted. It isn't just Lizzie, it's her whole band will be inducted today into the New England Music Hall of Fame, or tonight, I should say, at the Regent Theater in Arlington. I'm Hartley Pleshaw. Well, this is what they call in football calling an audible. The quarterback suddenly decides to change the game plan. We were originally going to play back the interview I did yesterday with Lizzie. We will still play back that interview later in the program, but I understand we are now joined by a gentleman that Mr. McGinnis and I, John McGinnis of the Screaming Ostrich Film Festival, is my in-person guest today. And now joining us on the phone is another member of the Greater Boston creative avant-garde community, Michael O'Toole. Michael, welcome.
Hey, Hartley, how's it going? Well, it's an honor to be bumping up against some heavy metal this morning. That'll wake me up this morning.
Well, listen, I'm very happy to wake up the world on Saturday mornings. Michael,
yeah.
you know John McGinnis very well. He's
yeah. I didn't know he was coming in today. His mic was a little bit soft, so you gotta get that.
I hope we fix the problem. We have affixed his head to the mic stand, so he will not drift too far from.
He's a very animated guy.
Yes,
you
indeed.
know, I wish I had that same spirit in the morning. I'm more of a night guy.
Indeed. Well, Michael, tell us about your baby, your brainchild, which is being produced as we speak at the at Cambridge Community Television, the public access community TV studio in the lovely city of Cambridge. Experimentally ill, and by the way, I am a part of this, so I'll full disclosure time, folks. This will involve some some personal self-aggrandizement. My apologies, but tell us.
Whoever heard of that? Whoever heard of
indeed.
that? Such a thing, shameful.
So tell us about experimentally ill.
Sure. Well, I'll just rattle off some. Yeah, like you say, it's experimentally ill, and of course the latest. That experimentally ill brand, the name, it's been myself, of course, and our great friend Lawrence Holly, who's also a filmmaker, who was a filmmaker for years on the New England sort of underground film and video scene, and has since almost a decade now been out in the LA area. You can catch him, a glimpse of him in the Barbie movie, which was a somewhat obscure film. Few people may know about it, but
why would Mr. Hawley leave this area to go to this?
For shame. Also, I came here to shame my friends today.
Right.
But
I was going to say this obscure neighborhood in Los Angeles called Hollywood. They claim there's a film industry out there, but I've never seen any evidence of it.
So he's been making his way, being a movie extra and whatnot. But yeah, just to get out of the way, of course. Experimentally ill. For years, I did a film festival with Lawrence under the experimentally ill name. We rent out the Coolidge Corner Theater, and we did shows at the Somerville Theater, another historic theater, and kind of like what John is doing with the Screaming Ostrich International Film Festival. Get our friends together and rouse other people. That's how we met our sort of grindhouse and experimental filmmaker friend John Hartman from Real Groovy Films.
Oh yes.
And that's kind of, Lawrence was working at the Brookline cable access channel, and I was hanging around there doing video work with him. We had become friends from doing some video work at the Wellesley channel and stuff, and had a similar taste in experimental indie film and pop culture stuff too, and that's how we met. You mentioned the filmmaker Mick Cusimano a few times. Yes. Great surrealist filmmaker who passed away, I think last year. And we were kind of this cabal of sort of alternative, eccentric artist types, and we were doing our thing. And we did the film festival for a few years, and around by 2012, I was doing all the publicity for the film festival, and I connected with these guys at Unregular Radio, which was sort of another like internet upstart radio thing in Boston. So I figured, like, we went in there for an interview. I'm like, let's do a radio show there. We did our own thing. We talked to sort of local artists, talked about pop culture, stuff like that, had our friends on. And did that for a little bit. That went under. And then for like a decade since then, I was doing a podcast from my apartment, having artist friends in. And, you know, we had been in and out of the cable access thing concurrently. Lawrence did sort of an experimental variety show called Random Acts. Did that for years, championed independent film, and he helped me do kind of a monologue show called Solipsist Dispatch. I was kind of into philosophy, and I was a big fan of the punk rocker Henry Rollins. He wrote a book called Solipsist, so I'm like, if I'm just one guy talking, which is what the show was, I'm like a solipsist, which is the idea, like, the only thing you can confirm to exist is your own mind, right, your own ideas.
Right.
But I got kind of tired of that. I wanted to talk to some more people, so we did the radio show. And I figured, you know, internet video is popular. We've experimented with that, but this is kind of like a return to form. We've been doing. We just had the debut episode, Experimental Eel, the TV series. So that's the new thing. People can still check out the Experimental Eel podcast, which is where I interview friends and artists. That's on pretty much wherever you get podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. That's going to continue concurrently. But like you said, the new thing that yourself, Hartley, and John McGinnis has been helping us out a little bit.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the past 5 months, I went with another friend of ours who we've collaborated with quite often, is the great eccentric artist. And for years, he was a filmmaker and put myself and Lawrence as wannabe actors in his movies, our friend D.L. Polanski.
Yes.
And people might know him from the Alston area. Alston, he put up a lot of flyers of his artwork and stuff. And so, yeah, myself and him, we were talking, and I think about the top of this year, our friend John Hartman, who I mentioned, makes films, and he is sort of a nomadic guy, goes to Bulgaria, comes back here, and he had just come back like around January and mentioned the open screen to us. I think the origins of doing the Experimental Eel, this version of, you know, the Experimental Eel TV series, which is heavy on experimental film, and we show a lot of short films in the show too, from our own films and friends of ours we like. You know, John said come to the open screen, and for those who don't know, like at the Coolidge Corner Theater, I think it's like the second Tuesday of every month usually, there's these guys who say, you know, come to the Coolidge Corner, and if you have any movie under 10 minutes, you sign up that day and you can show films. So for anybody who's like interested in local film, or they're kind of on the fence, they want to try filmmaking, you know, you get to see a lot of really eclectic short films, and some of them are really high end, and some of them are really low end, and everyone gets it. Everything is worthy to go up on the screen. So I started seeing that and going, you know, let's try more, you know, filmmaking again and more visual stuff as opposed to just doing the talking stuff again. So D.L. Polanski has said, you know, CCTV is really the place. We tried to go to a couple of other cable access places, and for anyone who has experience with that, some of them are more restrictive than others.
Yeah, I have more experience with that than I care to talk about, but go ahead.
Yeah. But CCTV, you know, you can check them out, cctvcambridge.org. They're really, you know, one of their slogans is "Make Art Be Heard." So I really felt like they were supporting us. And yeah, you can check out. We just had the premiere of the Experimental Eel TV series the other day, September 28th, and they're going to replay it subsequent Thursdays. So Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can see the TV version of Experimental Eel, which it's been pretty fun. We have Hartley. You know,
that's me, by the way. Yes, go ahead.
That's right. We have Hartley. We shot a bunch of cool monologues with you, Hartley, which you were great at.
Thank you.
One of them was about the hot topic artificial intelligence, which I edited just like on my iPhone, you know, and Lawrence and I have been working on this show like on our
Never
iPhone.
dispel the magic. Okay?
That's right.
You
I'm
edited
giving
it,
away the
just
magic
leave
trick.
it at that. You did the editing.
But anyway, it's a bi-coastal video tapestry we are making, Hartley. And for anyone who wants more of all of our stuff, experimentleo.com is where to go. And of course, I'm on social media, Michael P. O'Toole on
Oh my God, Michael, you're killing me. You're killing me. you have a documentary in the Screaming Ostrich.
That's right.
Sunday,
I almost
1
forgot.
PM.
Well, it all ties
1 p.m.
Michael, you've been outed.
The
Okay.
Michael O'Toole documentary, 1 p.m. And if you show up, if you want to go to a double feature, we're not going to kick you out of the theater. If you want to stay for a triple feature, stay for a triple feature. Just come out, see Michael O'Toole's documentary. And the subject is on Michael O'Toole.
Okay.
That's right.
Where will where and when will this documentary be shown?
1 p.m. at the West Newton Cinema, and it's actually a good documentary. I'm a little wary because it has good pacing and it has a lot of humor, and I'm worried, you know, that after some of the more serious ones, people are going to gravitate towards it.
Right. There won't be any like people getting killed in coal mine cave-ins or anything about mistreatment in mental hospitals. This will be a more fun documentary.
Yes, it will. And I'm a little worried that people are going to gravitate towards it, which means you'll like it, folks, if you show up.
And what day and date will this?
It will be Sunday, October 15th at 1 p.m.
Indeed.
And I feel bad because Sunday's like football day, and I got stuffed into
Well,
get rid of Sunday.
who knows how the Patriots will be doing by then? Maybe they'll be doing so badly that people will give up on the season and come out and see some great stuff. And while we're here, and again, I want to make sure that everyone knows this, so they don't miss it. As far as contacting and finding out more information about the Screaming Ostrich Film Festival, John, please regale our audience.
Oh, well, we do have screamingostrich.com. The website's awful. We hired somebody, and now we have two websites. And then we're on Film Freeway. That's where filmmakers go to submit. It's I think it's filmfreeway.com/Boston Screaming Ostrich. But if you just search for Screaming Ostrich on Film Freeway or Boston, you probably find us. That's where filmmakers go and submit to us.
Indeed. So, again,
Can I talk more about the documentary?
Yeah.
I can give you a little bit of background on that.
Please do.
It's
Sure. No, thank you to John McGinnis and the Screaming Ostrich Film Festival for accepting us. It's the Michael Fallon O'Toole TV, film, and radio career retrospective, I believe. And even though I'm the subject of this, which is, of course, it's an 8-minute short, so I think we'll survive. It's not the most dramatic documentary. There's some good comedy in there. But credit to, of course, Lawrence Hartley for putting together this great documentary, which I think the origins of that was originally we had some ideas we were throwing around at the open screen at the Coolidge and things like that. They did another open screen at the International Film Festival, Boston and stuff. But this is really the Screaming Ostrich is really our first real film festival.
Wonderful.
Foray.
Indeed.
So,
Michael,
some background on me and
wonderful. I am so glad you've reached the stage of your creative career where you're the subject of your own documentary. So
that's right. Well, I started doing these things when I was like 14 years old, so it's exciting.
Well, indeed it is. Gentlemen, we have to go to a break now. Michael, thank you so much for joining us today. And once again, if they want to see that up-and-coming young actor Hartley Pleshaw in Experimentally Ill, how can they do so?
Oh, well, they can, for Artificial Intelligence with Hartley Pleshaw, that's going to screen at the Screaming Ostrich International Film Festival. John might know what time that's going to be.
1 p.m. Saturday, October 14th.
Okay, so...
And then the next day is the documentary about
Yep, same time.
myself.
Yeah, the next day is the Michael O'Toole documentary.
Okay.
Honestly,
And then of course,
it's good.
Thank you. And of course, Film Freeway is great. We're gonna be submitting to some other
Wonderful.
festivals. It's really fun. At experimental.com and cctvcambridge.org. Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is where you can see the Experimental TV show, which subsequent episodes will feature the up-and-coming actor Hartley Pleshaw.
Oh, that's so kind of you. Michael, thank you so much for
And of
joining
course,
us.
Danny Trejo. I can't forget,
Yes.
Danny
of course.
Trejo, the star of Machete, gave
Yes.
us a promo. We did some extensive coverage at the Fan Expo Boston Comic Con. Thank you to John and Hartley. Everyone helped with that. Danny
it was
Trejo,
nothing.
Machete himself, gives us a shout out on the show.
Indeed. Gentlemen, John, we're gonna when we come back, we'll be playing my interview with Lizzie Borden. But Michael, thank you so much for joining us today.
Sure.
John, please stay. If you care to stay with us and hear this interview, please do. I have one more announcement. Another aspect of our creative community I would like to tell you about, and that is that on October 7th at the Belleville Church, 300 High Street in Newburyport, the exciting band Nathan and the Zydeco Cha-Chas, direct from Louisiana, will be performing at 8 p.m. October 7th, 8 p.m. at the Belleville Church, 300 High Street in the lovely city of Newburyport. As for me, I'm Hartley Pleshaw. This is Active Radio. Stay tuned for my interview with New England Music Hall of Famer Lizzie Borden, coming up here on Active Radio, here on WCAP, where everybody gets it. We'll be right back.
The Liquor Shop at 1201 Bridge Street in the Sunrise Plaza in Lowell has the area's best selection of craft beers, hard seltzers and ciders, great wine choices, and quality spirits too. They have Keno, lottery, bar supplies, premium cigars, and they're always featuring specials at competitive prices, so you don't have to ride all the way over the line to save. Hear about some of their great offerings during the Spiritual Hour, every Friday at 5, right here on WCAP. Over 30 years of doing it right. The Liquor Shop in Lowell.